Hey guys, I wanted to break down a beautiful trade that happened on GBP JPY day trade, and I got a little lucky. You're gonna see that in a moment, and then we're also gonna break down another setup on EU that unfortunately missed me, but still it was so clean. It's worth a breakdown. So stand by for that. But we're gonna start with GJ now. You see on the 4-hour time frame here that we had this old high and the market was coming for that. So this is Frankfurt session here right after Asia session, and we shoot up aggressively and we get this final push that ultimately ends up sweeping this old inducement high here. What do we have beyond? We have beyond a nice fair value gap here remaining on the 4-hour. So it was high time frame confluence, high time frame inducement level taken. And as we know, after that, we can respect high quality, low time frame reversals. And look what the market does. That's the beauty of our strategy, right? If the market keeps going up, we're not even looking. But if the market gives a reaction after a sweep like that, we know that it's high probable that this move is going to retrace, but then hold the high and come a little lower to at least some intermediate liquidity level below. So that's exactly what happened here. You can see we have a nice close break of structure on the M5 here. Super strong institutional push down. And if I play this a little more forward and switch to the M15, you can also see that we have a nice big fair value gap here on the M15. Not an M15 break of structure because the structure point is like so far away, like TP level kind of far away. So that doesn't matter. What matters to me is that we have a strong, almost full body close here and then a nice fair value gap. And let's read into the details here a little more. So we end up coming up, especially on M1, you can see it extremely corrective, man, extremely corrective. So I really liked not just the push down, but the corrective retracement up that made this very probable. So I ended up getting in here on this wick, and it just absolutely melted right away. As a first reaction, I was like, it could be easy, but then we started the correction. Or continued the correction, and it just kept chopping and chopping and chopping. And this candle here is actually, I took this trade as my first ever trade that I had the balls to. I took this trade on all accounts, even with the funded accounts. It's my first London session live trade, so to speak, with for a payout essentially. And I was sitting on the Fivers challenge, so I have won the Fivers challenge, and then I have some FTMO and some ACG accounts. And on the Fivers challenge, I was sitting and checking the trade essentially. And I saw that in MT5 on the Fivers, it stopped me out here because even though I gave this room to breathe with my stop loss a little bit above the high, the spreads on this pair are just shit, man, mostly. So I got stopped out anyway. So for me, I was just observing at this point, and I didn't even check the other accounts because I assumed, because Fivers normally has the best spreads, man, especially on GJ, and it stopped me out on Fivers. So I was just going on with my day. I was still observing because I could still see how this would re-sweep, maybe still in London session, and then, or maybe in New York session, and give a setup again. Basically the same setup, just with this being a resweep. So this was a trap essentially, you know. So I was still observing GJ, and it was just bouncing around, bouncing around, bouncing around, doing like minor resweeps. You see how this swept this, and then this swept this just barely. So it's still doing resweeps, crazy accumulation here. And then we start breaking lower actually very nicely. So here I already thought, oh, this is looking good. Check out the M15. So we resweep the high, we give a M15 break of structure, close break of structure, big fair value gap. So I was like, wow, this is shaping up again, especially that we put the almost equals in here. That is nice. So then we come and give another entry, and this is where I actually re-entered with the Fivers challenge. Exactly the same entry, funny enough, because this is the inducement high. Exactly my old entry was the inducement high. So I actually had the same position open again. Same entry, same stop loss above the high, same TP. Just everything was the same. Actually, my TP was down here, but we're gonna get there in a moment. So actually I got tagged into the same trade again, and this time it just melted beautifully, giving one final inducement here, and then a strong push down. And then we just broke lower. And then I decided, we had a little reaction here. in this demand, and my TP was below the demand as the liquidity pool to target. But I decided once I reject here, I was already up 2R, or 1.92R is where I closed it. And you know how I am. When I hit 2R, I'm either out for TP or I just drag stop extremely aggressively. Or if I see that we are in a demand and it rejects even just on the M1, I just close it. So I'm happy with 2R, man. Often enough, I see price go and shoot back on me like crazy. And this is exactly what happens. Look, my TP was here. Let's just put a line on here for now. TP rejected, and look at this shit, man. This is nothing I want to be a part of, man. If I'm up to R, I'm not gonna let the market retrace on me like that, man. So price goes on. Funny enough, misses my TP again. I'm already long out of the trade. Thank God, man. Look what it does, man. It's literally... managing trades like this saved me so much stress, man. You cannot imagine, man. It's still fucking around. And this actually went on and on and on. But yeah, when I closed this trade, I switched to my Alpha Capital master account, the one that is connected to the trade copier as the master. And I saw that I was still in this trade all along. It didn't stop me out. It didn't stop me out on any account except the Fivers account. How sick is that? The one account that I'm logged into, I see myself getting stopped out. And in every other account, I was still tagged. So I just closed it here at the same price. I'm so grateful for that, man. Obviously, you need a little bit of luck for this to not stop you out. But... honestly, man, I'm just super grateful that I had this little bit of luck in this case. Because if I would have even seen, honestly, if I would have seen that I'm still in, I would have probably closed here for a break even, because look at this mess here. But who knows? But yeah, thank God I didn't see it. I saw it when I switched accounts. I closed here for full TP for like around 2 grand of payout. So super grateful for that. Super grateful that it paid off to finally risk something in London. You know, I have backtested, as you know, and forward tested London for many months now. So I'm happy to give it at least half risk of what I normally risk in New York, and that it paid off on the first trade. Beautiful, man. Just happy for that. Super happy. But let's go to EU. Let me just prepare that, and I'm going to be right back with you. Sorry guys, just one last comment on the GJ trade. I forgot the yen basket confluence completely. So yen basket, when you see this as a structural high, I think you can... I would count that as a structural high here. It's a little base and then a drop and then a break and close above. So we have the M5 break of structure here as well on yen basket. And you see that we swept beautifully 2 equal highs and the inducement demand here. So liquidity was also taken on a yen basket. That was another confluence that I initially totally forgot about. So we got that out of the way. So now we can finally jump to the beautiful setup that happened on EU the same day. So welcome back to the charts. This is EU, and this is the beautiful setup that happened in New York on the same... no, the day before. It was actually the day before. So Wednesday this week. So here you can see DXY on the 4 hour, and we took out a beautiful liquidity tool here. Cool. And then we were coming higher, and you can't see this right now because the 4 hour is not really in sync with the 5 minute on the replay. But just imagine this actually went a little higher and tapped the fair value gap here. So we don't only have a sweep here of this liquidity pool, but we also got an FVG tap here later on. So I'm going to switch to EU now to simplify things. So this is EU on the 4 hour. We can see we are in. We also swept liquidity here, inducement, then re-swept this here, came lower deeply into this huge fair value gap here. So this is a nice 4 hour fair value gap, nice area for price to potentially reverse from and have a nice bounce. And together with what I just showed you on DXY, we were ready for low of day longs. After so much liquidity, after so many points of interests being mitigated both on DXY and EU, it was just very high probable that if we get a nice shift from the low of the day, that it's going to be a nice long opportunity. So let's stick on EU right now. Here I'm gonna make the 5 minute a little bigger. So this was the end of London session. We were still on the low of the day in proximity. So I was thinking getting a setup is pretty likely, and I was licking my lips. I was ready to execute. We get a little bullish open at first. So we invite early buyers here. Everyone on the M1 thinks we flipped bullish. We stop them swiftly out. We make a nice little bearish push. So now everybody thinks the bears are in play. So we want to see both sides getting trapped. So this is what's happening right now. And then we get this first nice push out. Then we chop a little. Then when we got the second leg here, this push out closing above here, you know, so we have a first leg fair value gap, second leg fair value gap, closing above a lot of previous structure points. So I knew this is the time that the institutions are ready to long this. You see how confluenced this is again on the 4 hour, just beautiful stuff. The DXY, how it swept and everything, so good. This is so beautiful, man. How can it be more textbook? Well, so I wanted to get in here, and because I could have gone for the M15 fair value gap here, this one. I think this formed like that. Yeah, but even this would have not gotten tagged, and this would be like 1.5, 1.4 R, which is under my minimum of 1.5. So unfortunately, the market leaves the exact equals and does not do a single inducement sweep and just absolutely rips to the upside. And that's sometimes the catch with setups that are so A-star that they are sometimes not even retracing to collect you, you know, like the signal, the ultimate confirmation when you wait for that M5 break of structure, and you get it, but it's already so far away from the price you want to enter that sometimes you just do not get collected. So that is obviously frustrating. But guys, if this would have come down here, this would have been such a high quality setup, man. Like this would literally, I think this trade in itself, with this kind of confluence based, at least 70% win rate on a 2RR, man. But sometimes you get missed. That's life. Still super grateful for the GJ trade that happened the day after, where I got my... Here I was a little bit out of luck, I guess, with the entry, but I got it the next day on GJ. So I'm a happy guy. I hope this helped you. I really enjoy explaining these trades because it helps not just me, but hopefully also you, you know. And if you have any questions, just shoot me in the comments and we'll go through it. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.